My name is Stephanie, and I am the Clarity Coach. And today we're going through From Scattered to Clear, how to find your focus and finally know what to build next. I'm so excited to do this because I remember being in a spot where I felt like I was so scattered. I wanted to do all the things, but didn't know how to do any of the things, if that makes sense. And so I was ready to find some clarity because I was tired of waking up every day and not knowing what to do or how to do it, or if I even had what it takes to do what I wanted to do. So, if you are understanding that, if that is something that's resonating with you, I promise you, this is going to be a great time for us to be together. Now, if you were here, if you have pre registered, I definitely have a workbook that you have received. And so you should have received that in your email. If not, I can figure out how to put this in the comments here so I can make sure I can get it to all of you. I'll definitely put it in Facebook so that you can grab it there. And but it's beautiful, so you can follow it along. But if you don't have this beautiful workbook, it's okay. You can just grab some paper and download it later. So don't worry about that. Don't let that stop you from joining us today. If you do have it, it will have all the questions and different things prompted up in there. But if not, it is okay. So let me drop that in here. It should be. Let me see if I'm even live on Facebook here. Yes, it looks like I am. So I would love to know if you are with me here. I've never done this where I am even live on Facebook here. Oops. Yes, it looks like I am. Okay. I'll drop me here. Okay. I've never done this where I am even live on Facebook. See, this is what's fun. You doing all these different things. I have to figure out how to do here. Let me go on my desktop here, just a minute here, and move this up here. Just give me one moment as I do this and make sure that I can get the workbook into the Facebook for you, because I'm not sure how I am able to get it here in Riverside. So again, new platform. If you're joining us on YouTube, welcome. If you are here in Facebook, then welcome as well. So let me drop it here. And I'll drop it here. And if you are here with me on Riverside, welcome. And I don't know how to. Oh, here is the chat. Oh, I can see. Here we are. Oh my goodness. Hello, everybody. So I will drop in the workbook here as well. So if you are joining us here, you should be able to grab that as well. I would love to know if you are here. It looks like a few of you are watching. So if you can find the comments, I would love for you to comment. If you can't do that, if you're someone that's registered, you can jump over to my profile, Stephanie Haynesbook on Facebook, or you can find me on Stuff Book Flourish on YouTube. So you can find me in both of those places as well. Okay. All right. So I just want to welcome you there. Let me share my slides here, and I hopefully we will be able to do this together. So let me present here. So again, I'm so excited to have you here from Scattered to Clear. And I have never done this before. I'm going to actually do live on Instagram as well. So here we go. I had it already, but that's okay. Okay. All right. So anyways, okay, so I am ready here. Hello there on Instagram. If you're joining me, we are from Scattered to Clear, how to find your focus and finally build what's next. I am live on YouTube and on Facebook, but I wanted to drop in here as well. So you won't be able to see the slides. If you want to hop over to Facebook, definitely do that. But I thought I would just share it in here as well. So anyways, we are here. I'm so excited to be here. So you're in the right place today. I wanted you to grab your workbook. I just put it in the comments. For those of you on Instagram, you can head over to Facebook and find it there. I put the link in the live comments, but you'll be able to go through that, and then we'll work through this together. But I just want to again say, welcome. Again, my name is Stephanie. I'm the Clarity Coach. I love to help women that are feeling scattered, that were just like me, women that are maybe in midlife and they're ready to show up. They have something that they want to do. They want to build meaningful businesses from home, something that fits their real life, that that honors their faith and actually moves them forward. But maybe you're just feeling a little bit scattered. You're feeling like a little bit of lack of direction. You know what you want to do, but yet you're just fuzzy. Things are just not clear. So that's what I love being able to do, is help women see their value, be able to see that they are fully equipped to do what they want to do. And sometimes we just need a little bit of clarity. We need to know how to move forward. And so that's what we're going to go to do today. So I've been looking forward to this because it's really been something on my heart, as I mentioned in the very beginning, because I know you're here because you have ideas, you have a desire, you have faith, but something keeps getting in the way. Your momentum is just not moving you forward. So I want you to walk away from this webinar today with three things. I want you to have a clear framework for finding your focus, having a simple next step you can add into action this week, and then be able to build the action, to be able to actually have what to do next, so that you're not feeling like you're starting over every single Monday. And then you can grab that workbook, and I put those in the comments as well. And then I want to let you know, for everyone that is staying through, I have a great resource that I put together for you. So you will stay at the end of that. It's our Aligned Action Starter Kit. I worked a lot on this, and it's full of some wonderful resources. So that is your free gift for being able to stay with me. So make sure that you do that as well. So, okay. So does this sound familiar? You sit down, and within 5 minutes, you are feeling completely overwhelmed. Your Monday feels full of the possibilities, but then Wednesday, oh my goodness, by then you're like, wait, what am I even doing? Is this even working? You feel like you're not actually building anything. So I want you to know all of these things. Okay. First of all, you are not alone, and you are not the problem. Seriously, I think that I thought all the time that I was a problem, that there was something wrong with me. Every time I would sit down and try to build what I wanted to build, I thought, maybe I just didn't have it figured out. Maybe I'm just the problem. No, that's not the case. It's not a discipline problem. Most likely you're disciplined. Most likely, now some of us have some things that we maybe don't show up for as well as we could, right? We all have room for improvement, but it's not usually a motivation problem or a discipline problem. And honestly, it all becomes to that clarity point. It's Clarity is something that you can actually get, and that's what we want to help you do. We want to help you find that clarity. So I want you to understand that it's not a discipline problem. It's not a motivation problem. It's not a you problem. I promise you, it's not you. It's just that clarity. And what the good news is we can find that clarity. Discipline, that's hard to manufacture sometimes, right? Motivation comes and it goes. But clarity is what really helps you move forward. It's exactly what you need. And so that's what we're going to do today. So I wanted to share just a little bit about me. I mentioned it a little bit here already, but I remember just being in a season of overwhelm. I have lots of ideas. Being creative, I love to do lots of things, and there's lots of areas that I can help. And honestly, there's lots of areas that I can help other women in. But I knew that the more scattered I was, the more scattered the people I wanted to serve felt. I didn't know exactly who I was talking to. I knew who I wanted to help, but I didn't know how to communicate that clearly. I knew a lot of things that I like to do, but I didn't have a clear vision of exactly what it was that I was meant to do. I felt frustrated. I felt overwhelmed. And I honestly remember talking to one of my coaches and saying, I'm just going to go quit. Just forget all of this. I'm done with this. And I'm just going to go work at a store and just forget it. But then something deep down inside me, no, I don't want to stop that. I know that I have a purpose. I know that God has laid a purpose on my heart to serve other women and help them, but I didn't know exactly what it was or how I could help them. One of my most favorite quotes, and I will say this all of the time, is Rory Vaden. It says, "You are most powerfully positioned to serve the person you once were." The day that I heard that quote, I knew that that's who I wanted to help. Maybe the past version of me, something that I learned along the way that I could help someone else. But I still needed some clarity. And so that is one thing that I have really worked on. And I've learned how to do this. And so that's why I'm excited to help you, because confusion grows where clarity is missing. And so we don't want you to have any more confusion. We want you to have a clear focus. We want a system that fits in your season that you're in, that you have simple next steps that you can follow. Fill your the gaps, all that noise that's going on in your heads, and let's stop that second guessing, stop that starting over, and stop all that wondering, am I on the right path? So I'm going to take just a break for a second and just ask you this. If you have I'm not taking a break, but I want to pause for a moment and ask you on your page 2 of your workbook. I would love for you to fill this out for yourself, and then you can drop it in the comments, and I will try to make sure that I am looking at those comments while you have a chance to write this down. But I would love to know, right now, my business feels blank, and what I want most is blank. Let me say that again. Right now, my business feels blank, and what I want most is blank. Okay. So take a moment and write that down, and I will copy this into the comments as well. So then those here on Facebook can do that as well if you don't have that. And let's see. So let me find the comments here. Open the chat. Let me see. Oh, okay. Hey, Sherry. Hey, Lee. Hello, Amber. Thank you for joining us. I'm excited to have you here. So let me put this in this comments as well. Here is the first question if you did not get the workbook. So right now, my business feels blank, and what I want most is blank. Okay. I guess you don't need the 1 minute say, be honest. That's my note for you. But I would love for you to drop it in here. I would love for you to have some participation. There's no judgment here. I just want to be able to help you walk through this. So if you have anything um, that's anything that is on your heart or you're in your mind that you want to share, something that you would like to see for your business, I would love that. So Lee, I see my business feels sad. I want it to feel fun and thriving. Oh, that's very good. Yes. Be able to have a place where we don't want to have that what is it, the rum drum, that's not the right word, humdrum, that's what like we want to have that excitement, we want to have that clarity, the momentum that moves us forward. So that's great. Thank you for being honest. That is so great. Sherry, yes, distracted and having healthy revenue, that's wonderful. Yes, we don't want to be so scattered. We want to have a clear focus of the one thing that we're working on. And so that's great. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. I don't know if anyone is commenting on Facebook. This is quite interesting doing all these things. So see, anybody can do this. If I could do this, anybody can do this. So I will make sure I get to those comments. If you're commenting on Facebook, I will get to you, I promise, at some point. So anyway, so thank you for commenting on that. And so let's help you go through this. So let's talk a little bit about why so many of us feel stuck. Okay. So we're going to take a little bit of time to do that. Now my slides are, let me set this for a second. You goodness. Okay. Oh, okay. Now I can get my slides to work. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Pop out view. Let's see if that works. Nope. I don't even know if you're seeing my slides. So if someone lets me know that, that would be good too. Okay, awesome. I'm glad you see them. I just can't move them forward. So I'm going to stop share for a second and we'll share them again because, when it doesn't fail, you just restart it, right? Okay. I bet you can see them now. Okay. So why do we often feel stuck? When you can name a pattern, you can break it. There are patterns that keep faith-driven women from moving forward. And these are some of the patterns. Let me know if any of these sound familiar to you. Okay. So the first one, over-consuming without implementing. Oh, goodness. I know that this is one that I definitely have issues with, over consuming with without implementing. We will learn and learn and learn because learning is easier. Learning is so much easier than actually implementing, right? And so we'll read one more book, we'll listen to one more podcast, we'll take one more free course, but actually doing anything with that we learning, we just don't take that. So often we'll get in that over consuming without implementing. The second one is fear of choosing wrong. So a lot of times we will fear that we're taking the wrong step, that we're going to do the wrong thing. We'll stay in the research phase because, or the planning phase, because we're just thinking about it too much because we're so afraid that we're going to choose the wrong thing. Another one is waiting for that confidence before acting, right? We want to make sure that we have it all together, that we are fully confident, that we know all the things. You can see right here as I'm doing this today, I don't have it all put together. I'm moving over here, I'm stopping, I'm sharing different slides. Believe me, you don't have to be fully confident because I certainly am not. Okay? But that is something that we often feel. We stop ourselves from moving forward because of that. Um, so let's go over some more. How about comparing and copying? Instead of building our own, we just try to look at what other people are doing, and then maybe we try to copy what other people are doing. We're trying to fit somebody else's mold. I know that we can learn from other people. We can take some different things from those other women that we see that they're showing up. Maybe we like some of the things that we're doing, but we don't want to be copying them or trying to mold ourselves to them. And we don't want to be comparing. You say you don't want to compare somebody else's middle to your beginning. And so we do that so often. So we want to watch for that. Another one is our no clear weekly plan. We have a bunch of different things, but we don't come in with a plan. And I can get into this too. I'm a planner. I do like to have things in a row, but I'm also very creative. And so I can get in my own way and have a plan, like have no plan coming into the week, or having an idea of the plan, but not actually putting the plan through. And so having a clear weekly plan that we can follow, that we have in rhythm, that's a system that we don't have to think about, that's going to help. Next one is letting perfectionism stall progress. Okay. Perfectionism is a lie. Okay. We are not expected to be perfect. And so we want to make sure that we are not putting such pressure on ourselves to show up perfect, because that's not what God is asking us to do. It's not looking into um, trying to measure up to a specific thing, because a lot of times the expectations that we're putting on ourselves are way higher than we need to. If I wanted to show up perfectly today, then you wouldn't have had a webinar today. And I want to help you more than I want to be perfect. And so thank you for hanging with me and not allowing me to be perfect. But it's also, it's good. It's good. It's healthy. It's real. We want to show up and not let that perfectionism steal our progress. And then another one is saying yes to too many things. That is really easy to do, especially when you're looking at and you don't have that clarity. It's a lot easier to say yes to all the things than really say yes to the most important things, the things that are going to move you forward. Or it's a good way to avoid the things that maybe we don't want to do, or we don't know how to do, or we're confused about doing. And so we'll say yes to too many other things. And sometimes it's just saying yes to other things. But usually it's because of a procrastination, or because of we're avoiding something else. So we'll say something yes to something else. Um, and so I want to make sure that, these are the patterns. These are all okay. You're all normal. So if you identified with any of those, I'd love for you to let me know if any of those things resonated with you. But I really want to, before you can start putting those in there, but I really want you to say that, in all of these things, that, God is not a God of confusion. He is a God of peace, and he's of order. And when we have constant chaos, and when we're spinning, when we're letting all of these different patterns keep us away from the things that God wants us to do, he's that's not coming from God. It's just coming from maybe recognizing that maybe we're building from the wrong foundation. Maybe we're building on comparison, or that pressure, perfectionism, maybe other people's standards or strategies, instead of that clarity and direction that he has given us, that he has specifically for us. It's in 1 Corinthians 14:33. It says, "For God is not a God of disorder, but of peace." So I want you to have that peace. I want you to be able to recognize those patterns. It's okay. It's okay if you have those. We all have those. I've already talked about a few that I've had, but let's recognize maybe a few of the patterns that you recognize in yourself. So if you do have the workbook, I want you to turn to page 3, and there's a place there where you can do a little bit of journaling. So again, if you're joining us later and you want to have the workbook, you can message me in the comments wherever you're listening, and I will get you the workbook so that you can do all the full journaling. But there's a place there at the bottom that you can check mark those places. Maybe check mark a few I know we want to probably check them all, but maybe what are a couple, two or three that maybe you feel are keeping you standing in the way the most? So if you are with me and you're able to do that, I'm going to look at my chat again here, hopefully. And um, let's see. Oh, goodness. There we go. Um, let's look at this and decide. Sorry, now I found my chat again. Let's go and take a few moments, and you can put yours in the comments if you like, or just take a moment in your workbook and comment. Are you over consuming without implementing? Are you comparing and copying? Do you have no clear weekly plan? Are you letting perfectionism stall your progress? Are you saying yes to too many things? Are you trying to build like someone else is building? So take a moment and do that. And I'm going to take a drink of water quick. Thank you. Okay. Okay, no clear weekly plan, saying yes to too many things. Yep. Those are great ones. Thanks, Sherry, for commenting. Yep, those are very, very common things to not have that weekly plan. And even if we are people that have plans, like we're planners, so to speak, right? But then we get out of that rhythm, we get out of that method, and we can feel like we're distracted, we're just not getting anything done. And I recently found myself falling into that trap as I was working on different things in my podcast. And I was talking to a girl and she was saying, well, are you back to recording your episodes? And I was like, well, I did, but then I never did them again. I had a schedule, but I didn't follow it. I didn't implement it the way because I let other things get in the way. I said yes to too many other things. I made somebody else's emergency my emergency, right? We have those different things that come up. It's okay. We're human. We're going to do that. But the more that we have a clear weekly plan, something that's simple to follow, then we're going to be able to show up better. And so, yes, awesome. Okay. So, okay, the next one. Okay, so now that we've identified all of these things, let's talk about the shift, right? We want to move away from these feelings or this distraction of stopping us from moving forward. Most people will think that consistency comes first. Like you just show up, or you push through, or you just show up in the way and you think, I'm just going to do it. I've decided I'm going to do it, right? I understand that sounds great for a few minutes and it might be a good motivation, let's go, let's do this thing, right? But then it doesn't move us very very quickly forward. So we want to make sure that we're learning how to go from that quick motivation or that excitement into something that is the long term, something that's going to move you forward. Because you can't stay committed to a direction that you're unclear about. So we want to make sure that we're clear about the direction that we're heading so that we know exactly where we want to go. So we want to stay committed to a direction. We don't want to stay, sorry, you cannot stay committed to a direction that you are unclear about. And so let's change that. So before we are at the point where we're trying to stay consistent without being clear on the direction, right? That's how we're all feeling. We're understanding there's something that's in our way that's moving us forward, that's not allowing us to move forward. So every time you pivot, you think that every time someone else pivots, you think that you should. Every Monday feels like a fresh start because nothing last week stuck, right? When you're clear, you get to know who you serve, what you're building, and what matters most in the season, and then everything starts to change. Your content gets easier to create, your decisions get faster, your planning gets simpler and actually more dialed down and more calm and less overwhelming. That consistency becomes a natural result of that clarity, not something you have to force. That is the shift. Clarity before consistency. Clarity creates consistency when you know who you serve and what you are building. Momentum becomes natural. So, the key shift is that content gets easier, decisions get faster, and planning gets simpler. Doesn't that sound like, even just reading that, it makes you feel more calm? So, remember, you cannot stay committed to a direction you're unclear about. So, let's get that direction taken care of. So, You can spend some time on page 5, which is a great exercise. And so, again, I will make sure that the workbook is in the comments or that you can get that if you have not had a chance to do that. But we are going to go into the next part where we are um, going to move into the aligned rhythm method, the way that I'm going to teach, that I teach my clients how to walk through. But you can spend some time journaling, about those different things and how you have been trying to stay consistent without being truly clear, and how that makes you feel. But let's move on to let's fix this. Okay, so the aligned rhythm method, this is the same framework, like I said, that I use with women I coach. There's 3 parts that work together to create a system: focus, structure, and action. So part 1 is focus. Okay, let's start moving into making we've been in the this is what it was like. Let's move towards what it can be. And so focus is not about doing less forever. It's about deciding what the season is for. So there's some great questions that we can ask ourselves as we are trying to figure out our focus. Uh, when we walk through this, I wanted to make sure to let you know that this is like the first layer, I guess, of my action rhythm method. We're not going through the whole method here today, but this is the first layer where everything is kind of built on. We built on this, and then we move on through the rest of the framework. So when I work with women, we go a lot deeper than this. We customize everything, be specific to who they are, the season that they're in, the business and their calling that they are living. And so, but this is the foundation, and so we're going to walk through that today. And so, one way, the way I want to define focus for you today is that focus is not about doing less forever. Like I said, it's about deciding what the season is for. This season is for. It's not forever. It's just now. Most women I work with are trying to build 5 different things all at once: a podcast, a coaching program, a digital product, maybe social media presence, an email list, all of it at the same time. And then they wonder why nothing is tracking, right? But the truth is, clarity requires elimination. Yep. You can't build everything at once and then build it well. But you can build one thing really well and then build the next thing from a position of strength. So the question is, I really want you to sit with, I want you to ask yourself, what is the season for? Not This is not your whole life, but the season that you're in, what you're building right now. You can ask these different questions. What is one thing you're building right now? Who are you building it for? What do you need to let go of to build it well? Now, there's lots of different questions that we can ask about this, but this is some of the basics. And again, in the full framework, when we work together, we're going to ask a lot more questions. We're going to take a lot more time to go through these different questions. And on page 5 of your workbook, these questions are listed as well, so that you can work through this and really spend some time working through it. But this is kind of gives you an idea of what to look for, what to start asking yourself as you're trying to find that clarity, because that clarity requires elimination. And so we want to start looking at the big picture, look at what season you're in, and then we start narrowing it down and narrowing it down so that we have the one focus. And that is going to help us be clear, because when we're planning a weekly schedule, I know that there's lots of things to build a business and to run a business, or to run a charity, or whatever it is that you are trying to show up and have that clarity for. But we can have a framework that we will build that helps you focus on the main thing, so we're not so scattered everywhere. And when you start getting one thing down, then eventually you'll start to be able to add layers to that. And so eventually you can do a lot more things at one time. But we want to build small in and focus exactly where we want to do in this season. And so that's what we're going to do. So the focus is the first part. I would love to talk about Sherry. Sherry has runs a woodworking business and was already showing up consistently with her woodworking, but she was kind of spinning. She got clear on who she served and how to speak to them in a way that connects, and things started to shift for her. She went from spinning to moving with clarity and confidence in a way that felt aligned and sustainable. She said, working with Stephanie was both powerful and empowering. She created a supportive, faith centered space that helped me gain clarity, integrate vision with stewardship, and move forward through thoughtfully in my business. She offered practical tools and clear direction that truly helped me take next level steps in a way that felt aligned and sustainable. I'm immensely grateful for her insight, encouragement, and the care she brings to her coaching. And thank you, Sherry, so much for that. It was so much fun to work with her. And it's fun because we're in different stages. And so I know that when we Sherry and I work together, that was some of the clarity that she needed. And now she's in the next step. And maybe she's looking for some more aligned rhythm to her week and to her flow. And so I love how we get to work together and help find that clarity and then move to the next step, because I think that's a great evidence of showing how one we can get that clarity and then we want to move to the next step and to the next step. We're always growing, we're always learning, and we're always moving toward the next best thing, the next right step for us in the season. So I'm so thankful for Sherry that she and I got to work together, and I'm excited to see all the things that she is going to continue to do in her woodworking business. Part two is structure. Clarity without structure creates frustration. Oh, that right? When we don't have structure, we feel completely out of alignment. We feel lost. We feel overwhelmed. And so we want to start changing that. A woman gets clarity when she knows what she is building and she's excited. She's ready to go. But then she sits down on Monday morning and still doesn't know what to do first, right? That's because clarity without structure creates that frustration. You need a place for your ideas that they can stop living only in your head. Because believe me, that is easy to do, right? We want a weekly rhythm. I've talked a little bit about that just naturally. When you come to sit down, you need a simple system, not complicated, not perfect, just something that's easy to follow. So let's talk about what structure actually looks like in real life, because I'm not talking about complicated systems or color coded spreadsheets or anything like that that's going to take you like 3 weeks to set up. I don't want all that for you. Now, if you love those things, great. That then structure might not be the problem that you're having. But I want to have something simple and practical, something you can start using right this week. So one of my favorite tools is Trello. If you've never heard of it, Trello is a free digital board where you can organize your ideas and your content. It's like having sticky notes that you can move around and lots of colors. You can labels, you can add pictures and all kinds of different things. It's one of my favorite places. And I do some teaching on Trello because I absolutely love using it. But instead of living out of 17 different notebooks or sticky notes, or different voice memos, you can put everything in one place, and it's really helpful as you're planning. And so when I work with the women that I coach, I try to help her put a Trello board together that helps her put all of her things together in one place so that we can work together. And instead of having everything all scattered in one place, we know exactly where to find everything and where to house everything. And so that is one of my favorite areas for structure. It can really make a big difference. Now, it can help for with your content batching. Instead of waking every morning and I'm sorry. You can put your content batching in there. You can house all kinds of different things in there. I'm not going to talk too much about Trello today because I would talk forever about Trello, but it's just a great place to do that. So having a place to do that. Now, maybe Trello, you don't want to do online. Maybe you like that paper calendar and that's what you want. But I do like a place where we can house all the things that are online, right? Because we have all our different links that we need to keep track of. Maybe your brand colors, if you have specifics in your business that you want to keep track of all the time. All of these things can help you as you are organizing your life and your business. And you can even come together with a great weekly schedule that you can put right into Trello. Another thing you can do is batch content. And like I mentioned just a little bit ago, when a friend asked me if I was batching my podcast episodes, she knew that that was something I was lacking in. And so that is something I talk about all the time too, where we can put, instead of waking up every morning and being exhausted trying to figure out, well, what am I going to post today? What am I going to share today? We can batch a bunch of content at one time, or maybe we plan all of the content one day and the next day we create it and then the next day we schedule it. It feels like a lot, but honestly, you keep your mind, you're not switch tasking from all those different ideas. You can batch record different things and then you can have them the next time. You can write the things and then you can schedule the things. They're different tasks that our mind is doing. And so we actually get a lot more done if we do that batch content batching. And so there's lots of different ways. These are just a few things that we can do to create some structure. And again, it doesn't have to be complicated, it just has to be consistent. So having a simple way that you plan every single week, whether it's a Trello board, it's your calendar, whatever it is, you find that thing that is going to work specifically for you. And I know when I work with women, we find what's going to be the best for them, and that's what we will do the best. Now, I'm like I said, I'm a big lover of Trello, but if that's not your jam, that's okay. You don't have to do that. But I know that you you have that vision. You know that God has given that desire in your heart to serve and to do the things that you want to do, but you need that structure so you can steward it well. So, because vision without structure is just a really beautiful dream that never gets built. Oops, I have my slides out of order. Let me talk about Zamara here for a moment. So, Zamara came ready to launch her podcast with a clear message and a real calling, but everything lived in her head. We built her a customized Trello board and structured plan so she could follow week by week. Every time we met, she makes real progress, not because she had more time, but because she finally had a system. And so we built a whole podcast Trello board for her. And so now she knows if she doesn't know what to do next, she can go right to that Trello board and see what is next. We can communicate on there because it gave her the structure. It gave her the step by step process that she needed, so she didn't have any guessing of what needed to come next. And so it was so much fun helping her do that, and I'm so excited for her podcast to get going. So I can't wait for that. So you can on top of page 6, it says right now my ideas live in. So you can jot down, where are you putting your ideas, where are you putting your structure, and what do you need instead, what do you need to maybe shift around or change so that you're feeling more ready or aligned for having that structure, to have that system, to feel a flow coming through. And then the next part 3 that we're going to go over today is action. So we have the ideas, we know what we're wanting to build, we know who we're wanting to serve. We're getting clear on Once we're getting clear on all the things that we're wanting to show up for and why we're showing up for, then we want to actually take the action, right? We don't want to live in some of those excuses of that perfectionism or comparison. We want to move into action. We know that you're not lacking ideas, you're not lacking the heart, but you keep moving forward and you keep waiting. You don't you don't need perfect certainty to take the next step forward. You just need one good step of clarity, and that's going to make all the difference. In Isaiah 30:21, it says, whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it. Peaceful action is still powerful action. You don't need perfect certainty to take that next step. You just need clarity on what that one next step is. And that's what this framework will do for you. So I know that a lot of times that I've gotten in my own way for moving forward because of that perfectionism. I've mentioned that before, or making sure that maybe comparing myself a little bit, or it's really most of the time the procrastination, and it comes from the fear of not doing it well, not measuring up to what the standards I'm holding for myself, not anybody else. And so I have found that the best way for me to move forward is actually just stepping in action, doing the thing messy. Not showing up perfectly is okay. Look at me. I haven't showed up perfectly yet today, but I'm here because I know that I have a clarity. I have clarity on who I want to serve. I'm excited to be able to help you move forward. Find that, have that excitement again, to be able to step in and do the things you want to build, or have the confidence to finally do it, to recognize that God has equipped you for that. He's put that desire in your heart and you're ready to move forward. And so let's stop worrying about what others might think, or comparing ourselves to somebody else's middle journey when you're just starting, or trying to show up perfectly, because I know I spent too much time doing that, worrying about what other people are going to think. And you know what? People don't really care that much. You're worrying about more than what they are. So it's time just to take that action, but it doesn't have to be perfect action. Just simple little baby steps can make the difference. One step. And as you walk through this clarity, as you gain that focus, you build a structure. you have that ease. Then you just know what that next right step is. And that's all you have to do is you just get to take it. You don't have to do any more than that. And that's freeing, right? Mhm. Okay. So I would love for you to do this for just a moment and let's go through your clarity a little bit. I'd love for you to take a quick minute here and put a few answers in your workbook. And then you can definitely comment if you're still with me. Please make sure that you're commenting here so that I know that you're here. So we can um, just take a few minutes to write down these different questions that are coming to give you some clarity. Now, again, this is a lot of work to do in an hour's time. So I can't expect you to, a lot of times when I'm on a webinar like this, I'm like, I can't write it all down that fast, or my brain is not fast enough to think through all of this. And that's okay. That's why we have the workbook. That's why you have the time to do that. But just take a moment here and think about these different questions. And if you have a chance, I'd love if you want to put anything in the comments, and I will definitely make sure to get you the workbook if you want that, or and I'll share some other ways that we can connect together as well. So the first question is, what is pulling at your attention most right now? So what's pulling your attention? Um, think about that a little bit. Is it your family? Is it something else? With your business, is it something that you want to do that you're not doing? Like what is pulling at your attention most right now? Number 2 is, what have you been avoiding deciding? So, what have you been putting off, right? Sometimes we don't like to make those decisions. We wanna avoid making decisions because it's just easy to stay stuck, but yet be miserable, right? I don't know why that is, but we definitely choose to be more miserable than we do to show up or make that decision, and so what is that? Write that down. What have you been avoiding deciding? So, number 3 is, what feels most aligned in the season? So, what is something that feels aligned? Like, don't worry about the what ifs, the ands, anything like that. If this was perfect or that, like, what feels most aligned in this season? Where does your heart mostly grow toward? Are you in a season where things need to slow down? And so maybe there's a small focus. Maybe there's something that you are like, oh my goodness, I'm ready to go. My kids are graduated. I am home. We're living life differently with a smaller nest, and we're just ready to go. I want to build something from home, right? What is it? Feels most aligned in this season? What are you excited about? What brings you joy? What do you know that God's like, God's like, oh, you've got to do this. That prompting is there. What feels most aligned in this season? And then the last one is, what can you simplify immediately, right? What is something you can simplify right now? I know we can't get rid of all of the different things, but I guarantee there's something on your list, something that you do every day that you could probably simplify. Maybe it's in a system, in a rhythm. Maybe it's asking someone else for help. Maybe it is swapping some time with another mom so that you have some time with your business and then she has some time with her business. Maybe it is maybe you're just saying yes to too many things, like we talked about, and maybe there's something that you need to let go of, right? So take a moment there. I'm going to grab a drink of water. And if you are with me live and want to share any of those things, I would love to hear what you have to say. I do want to say hi to those on Instagram. Definitely drop over to Facebook or drop a message in here. Just put clear, and I'll make sure that I get you the comments or get you the workbook and any of the links that we talked about. We'll talk about today, so that you can get all those questions, because this is great for you to be able to have the time to really sit with these questions and really journal them out, and it will make a difference, because the clearer that you are, the more focused you can be, and the more freeing it feels, and you can start building that business that you want to build without sacrificing other things, because you'll be able to have that clear focus. And so make sure you put that in the comments or reach out to me, send me a DM, and I will get you all the information you need to do that. All right. All right. Well, hopefully these questions are good. I know I don't want to go too fast, but I also don't want to just don't want to sit here and not give you a chance to do this. So I am going to I'll move on for now. But again, if you can go ahead and drop those in the comments at any time, and I'd love to do that. And if you're on Facebook and you're commenting there, that's great. I will. I promise I will come back and comment on there as well. Okay. So okay. So one of the biggest thing is as we are starting to kind of put everything together as we're understanding this, I want to make sure that you understand that you don't have to figure this all out alone. I know that we think that we need to, but clarity is always easier when someone else walks you through it. So I would love to invite you into something. It's a free clarity audit call. It's a 20-minute conversation where we can find out exactly where you're stuck and identify what your next clearest steps are. And so I love being able to do these calls because it's simple, they're free, but we can also really ask some questions to be able to really understand, first of all, like what are you excited about? What are you wanting to build? But then where are you feeling stuck? Go through maybe some of these questions that you've went through today, or maybe you haven't had a good chance to go through any of these questions and you're like, I just need some help. I just need someone to audit what I'm going through. And so I would love for you just to drop audit in the comments if you're on Instagram or on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you are. And if you're here on the webinar too, I will make sure I'll put the link in there. But this is a free clarity audit call where we will go through and we'll ask some of these questions. We'll walk through that the focus, the structure, and the action, and figure out what area is maybe that you're stuck. And then we can talk about other ways that we can move towards helping you. Because, like I said, as I work with my clients, we get to customize what they need to, or customize how I help them to what they need, where they are at in their business. And I really know that if I didn't seek help, if I hadn't reached out for a coach, if I hadn't invested in programs to like raise my hand and say, how can I move forward? I would not have been able to be where I'm at today. I wouldn't be showing up for you today because I would have stayed stuck. I would have felt unclear and I would have probably quit and went to work at that store because I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I think it's important to find that help, to have someone to talk through it. Maybe someone that has nothing to do with you, right? That has a different eye on your business so that they can see you and um, hear what is exciting to you and maybe help you identify some of those blocks that maybe you don't even know that you have. So you don't have to do this alone. And I would love to invite you to have this clarity audit call. So make sure you put audit in the comments, and I will get that to you. I would love to tell you about Amber. Oh, she's just such the cutest. She says, working with Stephanie has both been powerful and empowering. She created a supportive, faith-centered space that helped me gain clarity, integrate vision with stewardship, and move forward thoughtfully in a way that felt aligned and sustainable. Everything she created felt so professional, intentional, and aligned. She brought so much clarity and confidence to my overall business and direction. Working with her was one of the best investments I made for my brand. Thank you, Amber. And it's so much fun, and her brand is beautiful. And so I absolutely love being able to listen to what Amber needed and be able to have a call and find out what was she was wanted. And she wanted to have her Instagram and have it cohesive and make sure that it fit all her brand and the women that she was reaching. And so we had a great time working together and putting her colors together and tweaking her logo and just being able to help her show up the way that she wanted to show up. And it was so much fun. And so it's fun. And that's how I love being able to meet with women and see what is it the need, what need do you have? Are you someone like Sherry, who just needed to have some clarity and understand what it was, who she was serving, or how she could serve them best? Are you someone like Zamara who needed some structure? She needed some systems, a place to put everything so that you didn't feel confused. Or are you someone like Amber who needs some cohesiveness? She wanted to have everything look together so she could show up for the best way that she could for those that she is serving, right? There's so many different ways that we can show up, and I love being able to do all of those things together. So I would just highly recommend that you book that clarity call. There's I'll put that link in the comments. Let me actually do that right now. Whoops, that's not what I want to do. Let's see here. So here, let's put it here in the comments. And I will see if I can put it here on Instagram. I don't know if Instagram you can click on that, but you can just put audit in the comments. And YouTube, I don't know how to get to you, but if you're there, let me know. And I will make sure I put that link in there so you can grab that. And it's a simple form to fill out. And then we'll be able to jump on a call and be able to help you figure out where you are, what clarity you need, what the next best steps could be. So it looks like I said, put clear in the comments, put clear, put audit, whatever it is that you want to do. So before we walk away today, I want you to feel um, I want you to feel a little bit more settled. First of all, to understand that you're not alone, that we might have all those different areas that we might feel like we're not showing up the way we want to, but we do have a purpose. We do have a mission that we want to show up for, and it's okay to not feel like you have it all together. But there is a way to help it feel better, to help it feel clearer, to help it feel lighter. And so I hope that today gave you a little bit of even the clarity to start thinking about these questions so you could start working through that first part of my align rhythm methods so that you can have that focus, the structure, and the action. Having that simple ways. There's lots of things that we can do in our businesses to move forward, but this is a great way to start to have that focus. So in the next steps, this is what I highly recommend you to do is to finish your workbook today. While this teaching is fresh, while you just listen to this, and again, the link should be in everywhere that except for maybe YouTube, and I'll put it there. It should be there. The workbook should be there, or just put workbook in the comments, and I will get that to you for sure. Then I would encourage you to take one action before the week is out, even if it's a small one. Whether it is, sign up for that audit. Clarity audit with Stephanie. Maybe it is finish your workbook today, and that's the thing that you finish. Maybe it is deciding on a system that you're going to use for your structure, for your systems, for your rhythm. Maybe it's like finding out exactly who I'm serving, finding out what season I'm in. I don't know. Find what is that one next step that you can do, that one action. And then again, book your free clarity call with me. Just fill out that application. It won't take you very long at all. You're just asking you some different questions about where you are in your business and what you're looking for. And then we can definitely find a time to connect on the phone, or not on the phone, on a Zoom. And we will spend some time together. I would love to be able to hear what it is that you're excited about building. Maybe you're not sure what you want to build, and you're just like, I have all these different ideas. I want to do something. We can help you with that too. Maybe it is you wanting to have your brand cohesive. I do a lot of different things, but that all comes from the heart of understanding that you have so much to give, and I want you to be able to show up and do the things that God has laid on your heart. And it's time to stop with those excuses and let's move into action. So, as usual, I would love for you to connect with me. You can find me on Instagram, on YouTube at Steph Book Flourish, on Facebook, pretty much all those places. So you can find me there. I do have a Flourish community on Facebook. So just put Flourish in the comments if you'd like a link for that as well, because I'd love for you to join us over there where you have other like-minded women who are wanting to build businesses that have a faith-minded background, who want to serve those and love others, and be able to just and learn from one another as well. And I have some big exciting things coming up that I'll starting to do on YouTube soon, where I'll be sharing some different ways of to work your business as well. Some fun things that I am learning that I can't wait to share. And so that will be coming soon as well. So just remember that you're not behind, you're not incapable, you're not even too late. You simply need clarity, structure, and aligned action for this season of life. So remember, just comment clear, and I'll send you that link to apply for that free audit call. And I cannot wait to see all the different shifts. I would love to know what it is what you're learning, what you got from this as well. So I should put my face back on here. Hello to those that are still joining me. I'm so excited that you were here. I do hope that today was helpful to you, that you are seeing that, like I said, that you're not alone, that there is clarity does bring so much more peace. And there is a way to find that out. There's a way to see what's coming next and know what the next right step is when we take a few moments to step back and understand who we're serving, why we're serving, And if we're doing the right thing in the season that we're in, and then having the system, the structure that will help us move forward with ease and more peace, and taking that action confidently, not being afraid to jump in messy and scared and do the things that God has laid on our heart so that we can show up and just be us, because people love who we are. We don't need to be perfect. And yes, I will get better as I do this. You will get better as you step in more with more confidence and with more excitement, with more clarity. You will show up better and better every time, right? And so we don't need to stop about all that comparison or perfectionism, and let's move towards what we want to create. So I always sign off this way every single time, but I just want to thank you so much for listening. And I want you to understand that you are worthy and capable of living a full and flourishing life. Success isn't just possible, it's meant for you. All right, take care.